back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Darian, aka LOL Not Darian on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and comment down below, have you ever had a weirdo as roommate? Because that is what this story time is about to be about. So buckle in, let's get into it, because I'm tired of editing like 40-minute story times. So I'm gonna try to make this one quick. This was freshman year of my college experience. I was 18 years old, had just moved into school. So we are going to give my roommate a name. We will call her Amy. I remember I was so excited to move in and everything because at first I don't think I had a dorm assignment, and then we had what is it called, orientation, and they made us stay in the newest dorms that they had just built. Like literally they had just finished the construction on them, and they made everybody stay there, and that was like the freshman dorm, or the newest freshman dorm that people could stay at. I found out that if you were part of a cohort, which when you join a group full of other people who are in that same major as you, so basically is when you can join people that are you can join a group where it's a bunch of people that all have the same major as you. So we had one for healthcare, like people who were nursing degree. I think it was just pre-nursing. Then we also had one that I was in for pre-law, and some other ones as well. And we all had our own separate floors, or our own individual parts of the floor, or areas of the floor or whatever. And so my cohort that I was in was pre-law. I found out that if you joined this cohort, then that was the only way that you could be assured that you would stay in this building. And the thing about the dorms and the rest of our campus is that the dorms were old. They were old. There was only one other dorm on campus that wasn't old and nasty, but it was a lot more expensive to stay there because you basically had singles and you just shared a bathroom. Whereas everything else, thankfully we didn't have communal bathrooms at all on this campus, but everything else, I can't stand old places. So if I go into an old bathroom and it's some old nasty tile on the floor and everything, I'm going to get grossed out. So I was I cannot stay at an old dorm. I need to be in the newest, shiniest, brand new dorm. So I went on ahead and signed up for the cohort. And it's also a thing of when you have the roommates, when you get your roommate is also somebody who was in the same cohort as you. I move in to this dorm. I'm so excited. My best friend Peach, y'all know Peach from all my other story times, she joined the pre-nursing cohort. So she was actually on the same floor as me, just on the east wing, and I was in the west wing of the building. Jaylee was the one that helped me move in, but then after Jaylee left and everything, I ended up hanging out with Peach a little bit. I moved into the dorms or whatever, and I was so excited. And the way the rooms were set up was that you come in and it's a rectangle, but it's not the entryway is right smack dab in the middle of the rectangle, if that makes sense. I'm gonna draw it for y'all. Here is the rectangle, and naturally, if this is the rectangle, the middle would be right here. The alley, or not the alley, the hallway was right here. So this side of the room where this bed is gets a lot more wall space to do things with, whereas this side of the room you get just barely wall space to do anything with. And so I really wanted this side of the room. However, I literally got there 5 minutes after my roommate Amy. So I was fuck. So she obviously took the other side of the room, the bigger side of the room, and I was all right, well, fuck it. It is what it is. Because I was rushing everything. And my family was why are you rushing? And I was bro, there's a side of the room that I want. I have to get the side of the room. I have to get it. But then when we got in there and she already took it, I was well, fuck, we can take our time now. Shit, it is what it is. So I'm okay, whatever. So I say hi to Amy, and we do introductions and everything. And then, we settle into the dorm, and that's that, right? The first thing I noticed was that Amy was somebody who got really, really hot at night. And I can go through those cycles of getting super super hot at night, but it's not like an everyday type of thing. Like it comes and goes. There are times like where I can sleep and I'm perfectly fine throughout the whole night, and then there are times where like it can still be 70 degrees. Like last night, it's 70 degrees in my house. It could still be 70 degrees and I'll wake up sweating and just hot and like having to literally just let my body cool off before I can go back to sleep. Amy was that way all the time. So she needed it cold as fuck. Y'all see where this is going. I feel like on roommate things, whenever they ask you, like, you know, the roommate questionnaire and shit, they need to ask you what temperature you like your house to be at. That is like one of the #1 fights that people have when they have roommates, is about the fucking thermostat. And they never ask for the questionnaires. And it's like, no, you need to start asking, do people like it hot or do they like it cold? Amy liked it cold. And the issue with that is that the vent for our room is on my side of the room. And I lofted my bed all the way up to the highest thing that it could go, which meant that the air vent that was all the way up on the wall would blow air straight up under my nose, because when she would turn the AC on, it would just, you know, go all up under my nose. And she wouldn't get any of it because her side of the room was, you know, over there. So she was like, you know, I do like it cold and everything. However, like, and I was like, I don't really like it cold. Like, it's not that I like it hot. Like I said, my apartment is on 70 degrees right now. So, like, it's not like I like it super hot, but, like, I can't do, like, when the AC is in the 60s. Like, you gon', like, some gotta give. It cannot be that fucking cold, right? So she started, like, putting a fan on a chair and having it blow like on her, because her bed was also lofted, so she would put her fan on her chair for her desk, and that's how she would sleep at night, so that we could both kind of be okay. For about like the first 2 months, I would say, maybe not, yeah, I guess the first 2 months, because I think we moved in like the middle of August. So about like the first 2 months, me and Amy did not really speak like that. Like, it wasn't that we didn't like each other or anything like that. It was just, I didn't know her, she didn't know me, and we already came in. I don't know if she came in with any friends in mind that she could like talk to and things like that, but she was a very outgoing person, so I'm pretty sure she made friends pretty easily. Whereas like me, I came in with people that I already knew. Like unfortunately, my ex-girlfriend was there, so I was like occupied with her until I wasn't, thankfully. And my best friend, like I said, Peach, was there, so she and I would like hang out and everything. And then also my other best friend, Jaylee, she would drive up sometimes to come and see me. I was pretty occupied like on campus and everything, and so was she, so we didn't really ever need to speak until one day. Me and Peach, we went and hung out. I forgot like where we went, but we went and got blazed, right? And it was like pretty, it wasn't like pretty late at night, but it was late enough at night to where it was dark as shit outside. Me and Peach, like, we come back, we're blazed, we're having a good time and everything, and we're like in the dorm sitting talking, and Amy's in there by herself. I think she was like watching something on her like phone or her laptop or some shit. When I'm under any type of influence, whether I'm blazed or whether I have some alcohol in me, that's when I start getting like pretty talkative with people that I'm not usually talkative with. I came in and me and Peach were just talking or whatever, and like we had the munchies, and so we were like eating, and Amy looked at me and she went, "Are you guys high?" Yeah. And she was like, "I knew you smoked. Every time you come in, you smell like it." And like me and Peach started bust out laughing, and Amy was like, "Don't worry, like I'm not like a square ass bitch. Like I'm not gonna snitch on y'all or nothing. Like it's just y'all are funny, and like cause we're over here like." trying to pretend that we're sober in front of her because we didn't expect her to be in the room. She's like, "Bro, y'all came in here looking for all the fucking snacks and everything," and we just started cracking the hell up. So that's how me and Amy ended up becoming cool. And me, Amy, and Peach kind of formed like a little friend group or whatever. Me, Peach, and Amy, we used to like hang out a lot after that. Like we would meet up with each other at the student center and like get lunch together all the time, or like we would go to the library sometimes, or just like study in our bedroom together. Like just things like that. And obviously me and Amy, we would talk a lot more because we lived together, so we would just be in our room like talking all the time and like chopping it up and everything. There was this guy that somebody introduced him to her, like, you know, in a friend group setting, and he told them later on, like, I think she's kind of cute or whatever. Amy was like dealing with some guy back home that was like not a grade older than us, a year older than us, and he was like always on bullshit with her, like always like playing her and shit. I think like he cheated on her or something, and so they were like together but not together. Like it was like a situationship type of thing because she couldn't really trust to be with him anymore after that shit, but they were still dealing with each other. So she was like kind of like thinking about going for Frank, but at the same time like kind of like I don't know, because I still have old dude back home that like I'm, you know, thinking about, and da da da. And like sometimes he would come and visit, and like whenever he would stay in our dorm room, I would just go to like one of my little ass houses and like be with them until she, you know, got her little boo out the house, got him out the dorm, and like got him back to his house after the weekend ended. So, you know, freshman year, it's just always a whole bunch of like different little boys all around, right? I remember one night, this was like around the time me and Peach and Amy started getting a lot closer, and we decided to go to a party. Me and Peach were in our party era, or like at least trying to be, but like I don't know, maybe it's just because we never got to parties early, but like parties were never really fun. And then like when we would get to a party early, it would end up being a bus and nobody would be like fucking be there. So it was just like, okay. I remember we went to this one party in these apartments. It was like absolutely nobody there. Like it was like us, there was somebody who already took up the couch, so we couldn't sit on the couch, but it was literally the people on the couch, the nigga who owned the apartment, or the nigga who was like, you know, lived in the apartment, and then us. And that was about it. And so like we were just standing up against the wall. He gave us some alcohol. I think he gave us he gave us some Svedka, I think. Either that or Amsterdam. I think he gave us a choice between those two. And obviously we don't know shit about shit. So like I think we chose like the Svedka lemonade or whatever, pink lemonade. Disgusting, by the way. It literally just tastes like alcoholic syrup. Like it's gross. But I never do, unless it's Pink Whitney, I do not do flavored alcohol no more. He gave us some alcohol, and like honestly I was sipping it, but like I wasn't really like trying to drink for real, because I had already smoked before. Like me and Peach, we had already smoked before we got there. Amy didn't really smoke like that, so she was just like kind of sitting in the car like while we hotboxed or whatever, and then we went into the party. So I wasn't really trying to drink like that because I didn't know anything about getting crossfaded, and I didn't want to learn that night around all these people that I don't know. I'm like kind of sipping it, but I'm not really drinking it like that. But like Amy is taking it to the head. Like she is like chugging it and chugging it. And I'm like, Amy, relax, cool it down. And she was like, no, I'm just like, you know, it's kind of awkward. Like, you know, maybe like if I drink a little bit, I'll loosen up. And I was like, you don't have to loosen up. Ain't nobody up in here. You know, like I would understand if like you were bored while everybody else was having fun, but like it's literally just absolutely nothing going on up in here. Like it's, you know, sometimes there are parties that are a bust, and like this is one of them, definitely. Like it felt more like a kickback, which I'm fine with. I actually prefer kickbacks to parties, but like this was like a kickback. Like you invite your homegirls and your homeboys over, and y'all just sit on the couch and talk and drink. Like that's what it was giving, but the lights were out and there was music blaring. It was a weird dynamic going on, and I think Amy was trying to like put the pressure on herself to like feel a little bit more comfortable in a situation that was just inevitably going to be awkward. I think she had asked Peach if she could like drink some of hers or whatever, and Peach was like, yeah, and she was like in the middle of talking while she did it. And Peach is a klutz sometimes, so she was like in the middle of talking, she talks with her hands just like I do, and she ends up, somehow the cup just falls out of her hand, and just alcohol just splashes all over the fucking floor, on my clothes, on Amy's clothes, on Peach's clothes. He's just like, I'm so sorry, y'all. And I was like, it is okay. And like the guy, he was kind. So he was like, oh, like, do you need like a towel or something like that? And I was like, yeah, if you got like some paper towels. So I was like, yeah, like if you got some paper towels, like, you know, I'll take it, we'll take it. So we're over here drying ourselves off, and that makes Amy even more nervous. So she starts taking even more like shots to the head, and she starts getting a little slizzard. Like we can tell, me and Peach can definitely tell, like, oh, this is not the Amy that is supposed to be the Amy that we know. Like she's a little out there right now. And I like look at Peach and I'm like, Peach, I think we should go. And she was like, yeah, let's go to Jack in the Box, let's go get some food. So Amy was like, oh, do we have to go? I was like, yes, babe, we have to go. Let's go now. So we go, we take her to the car, put her in the car, and like the way Peach's car is or her old car was, is that she had a coupe. So the back windows did not come down, obviously, because it's a coupe. And I used to always make Amy get in the back, and I would sit shotgun because duh, I'm the best friend. Why would I sit in the back? Amy sits in the back seat. She looks up and she sees Frank. I almost call that man real name. She sees Frank walking into the party, and she was like, did we miss him? Oh my God, he was about to go into the party, and we have to go back. We have to go back. And I was like, no, girl. We cannot go back. Like at this point, we really can't go back. Like if you like this man, I am saving you, because as drunk as you are right now, you are going to embarrass yourself. But guess what? She embarrassed herself anyway. You know how? Because I have the window down because I'm trying to air out some of the weed smell that we had from when we hotboxed before. Because the cops be heavy as Sam Houston, like heavy as fuck. I'm like, let's sit here and like air the car out before we start like going and driving somewhere. So we're like sitting there with the window down, and that's when like Amy sees Frank. And so I'm like, no, we're not going back in. She's like, oh, well, I want to say something to him. And I'm like, you can just like, you have his phone number. You can text him later on or whatever. And she was like, no, I'm going to say something right now. And I was like, huh? And she literally sticks her head, like I'm sitting right here, right? She sticks her head in between me and the window and sticks her head out the window and goes, Frank! And I'm like, Amy, relax. And she was like, no, Frank, you're fine as fuck, Frank, you're so fucking fine. And I'm like, oh my God. And I like literally smash her by her face back to the back seat. I'm like, get back. And like he turns around and I'm like, oh my God. Cause I'm embarrassed for her. Peach like rolls up my window. She's like, look,
yeah. I don't know what to say.
And she rolls it up and she just like takes off. She's like, oh my God, Amy, like, and like we can't even talk to her because she's in the back just giggling, tickled the fuck pink. I'm like, Amy, bro, you are like, when I tell you about this tomorrow, you are going to be so embarrassed. So we get some Jack in the Box, and then we have a little good moment at Jack in the Box, and then we go back to the dorms, go to sleep. So when she woke up, she was like, I don't remember much of last night. And I told her about what happened with her and Frank, and she was like, that's why he texted me. And so like apparently he texted her, and he was like, I know it was you, like I know your voice or whatever. And they like had a little good key about it, and they started talking. Fast forward, I had gotten so fucking sick. And I remember she had turned the AC down a lot that night. And I don't know why, because I told her like it's gonna get really cold overnight. Like that was back when like fall evenings were actually cold. Y'all remember the good old days? I was like, hey, it's gonna get like really cold in the nighttime. Like I know it was like 70 something in the daytime, but it's gonna get down to like, it's supposed to get down to like 40s. I don't think you should be turning up the AC. And she was like, well, I'm hot right now. Like it is so fucking hot in here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, whatever. So she turns the AC down, and I can literally feel the air going up my nose the entire night. And I wake up the next morning sick as a fucking dog, y'all. Sick. Like when they say that when you go to college you will get the sickest you have ever been in your fucking life, they are not lying. I was like bedridden. I was so sick. It was literally, I always tell people this is like the sickest I've ever been. And I had COVID before. Even when I had COVID, I was never as sick as I was this year, or like, at that point. And literally I went to the health center or whatever, and it turns out that I had an upper respiratory infection, and it was because of the air. I'm convinced that it was because of the air, because I wasn't coming into contact with anybody else who was sick that I knew of. Everybody else around me was healthy. Everybody else around me was okay. I was the only one that was sick, and like, it was so bad. I had a fever of like 103. I had the shakes. My voice went away. I have never been so fucking sick that my voice was gone. I would wake up in the morning and like for the first, like, I already wake up in the morning and I can't really speak like that. Like, it hurts my throat, and that's been since I was a child. But like, this was the very first time where like I would wake up and for literally half of the day, I could open my mouth and absolutely nothing come out. It was so fucking bad, y'all. I was on like, I think 3 different antibiotics for 2 weeks straight. It was bad. So after that, I started like cracking down with Amy about the AC, because I was like, look, I can't get sick like this again. Like, I cannot. I couldn't even go to class. I had to miss classes and everything. And sure, I had like a pass to miss the classes, but like, I wouldn't get any extra instruction outside of that. If I missed the class, and I missed the class and I missed the instruction, and I would just have to get somebody's notes and hope that the notes that they took was good enough. I had to crack down on her with the AC and be like, hey, look, we can't do this no more. Like, something got to give with the AC. Like, you know, you're gonna have to turn your fan up higher or get a better fan or something. But like, I cannot get sick like this again. This is horrible. Like, I literally feel like I'm on my deathbed. It was so bad. So she was like, okay, I understand, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, Amy's little Yev from back in her hometown is like coming to visit more frequently, and she's starting to slow up talking to Frank a lot more, which I was like kind of disappointed in, because like Frank was the best option out of like the options she had. He was like a sweetheart and everything. Like I said, he didn't really talk like that, but like he wasn't a man of many words, but he was also like somebody who you could tell just really liked her, and he was handsome. The guy that was from back home, like I said, he was a cheater, and he was ugly. He wasn't even cute. He was old, ugly, and a cheater. Like, I could not stand him. So it was like, whenever he started coming around again and she started like slowly not talk to Frank, I was like, oh fuck, like, you know, that really sucks for Frank, right? Around the time that she and that boy started talking again, like heavy, and like got into a relationship and shit, I could tell that her energy slowly started to wane. Like, she was very strange. She started being like really weird towards me, and she started like having her other friends who weren't in our cohort come around and like hang out at the room or whatever, and she would like use that as an excuse to not speak to me. And it was really odd to me. And like I said, I didn't do nothing to this girl. Like, when I tell you absolutely nothing, it was just like, she woke up one day and decided she didn't like me anymore. It was like, what did I do, you know? And it was always like on and off. Like, there would be times where she would like be her normal bubbly self with me and like talk with me and have like all these conversations, blah, blah, blah. And then there were other times where she would just ice me out. When she started getting real inconsistent with me, I was like, is she okay? Like, what's going on with her, right? It was like second semester. So we went home for the holidays and everything. And I think me and Amy like texted here and there, but not really. I didn't usually text them over the break. I would just see them. Like, if I wanted to hang out with them over any type of breaks or whatever, I would go hang out with them. And so like, me and Peach, we live 15 minutes away. So we would go and hang out with each other. And like, we wouldn't text or anything. If she was texting me or calling me, literally this was her favorite thing to do growing up. When she started driving, she would call me and be like, hey, are you busy? And I'd be like, no. She'd be like, okay, you want to hang out? I'd be like, yeah. She'd be like, okay, I'm in your driveway. Like, that's how me and Peach would always like hang out and things. So it was like, there was never any time to like text or anything, because like, she was about that action. Like, she was gonna pull up on you and we about to hang out. Amy, she didn't have a car, and then I didn't have a car, and we lived on like 2 completely different sides of Houston. So it was just like, there was no hangout, right? We would just see each other when we got back to campus. We got back to campus in January. So basically there were a few days, right, where I came in and it was freezing. And like I said, I told her, something got to give with the AC. I cannot get sick like I did last time. And I know for a fact that it was not only the massive temperature drop, but also the AC blowing up my nose the entire night. Like, I can't get sick like that again. I kept coming in, and mind you, like I said, it's January at this point, so it is cold outside. Like, of course it's Houston cold, but it's still cold. So it's like 30 degrees outside, and I'm coming in, and she would have the AC on like 68. And I'm like, why is the AC even on? Why is the AC even on? Like, it's fucking freezing outside. I'm like walking around with mittens on my hands and shit. Like, and then I'm coming into this cold ass dorm. Why is it cold? I remember like it kept happening for a few days, and I'm like, I kept telling her like, Amy, it is too fucking cold in here. I need you to like, if you're hot, please go sit up under your fan or something, but it is entirely too cold in here. And Peach, she is somebody like, her house is usually cold as well, but she came in and she was like, oh my God, it is freezing in here. And I'm like, yes, I know, thank you. Amy, it is freezing in here. Can you do something about the AC? I remember like, and the reason why I was telling her about it instead of doing it myself is because I'm trying to like be cordial still and make her understand like it is cold. Like, I don't want to like have an AC war with you. I just want you to realize you are not the only person in this dorm. I also live here. I am fucking freezing. There was one time I came in and it was cold as fuck outside. Like I said, it was like in the 30s. I think it was like actually in the high 20s at this point. And I come in and it is freezing. And I go and look at the thermostat. Why does it say 64 degrees?
Nope, stop talking, go to jail.
So I turn it back up. I don't know what it is with my roommates loving to have the AC on 64 degrees. And it's always the ones. Because any of the black people that I lived with, we were always good when it came to the AC. So I came in and I saw the AC on 64 and I was like, absolutely fuck not. And I was like, fuck being cordial. And I turned it up to 70. And I didn't even turn the heat on. I just turned the AC up to 70 because it was like, you're already getting air. It's cold outside. You're already getting air. Can it at least be on 70? I'm not even turning the heat on. So I turn it up to 70. I go and sit down. And as soon as like I go and sit down at my desk, Amy comes out with her little friend and she turns the AC back down. And I'm like, Amy, 64 fucking degrees is ridiculous. It is cold outside and you have it freezing here. And she goes, Darian, I have a fucking fever. I have a fever. I'm hot. I need the AC on.
Let me explain something to you, bitch.
I had to stop myself from asking her if she was a fucking idiot. Genuinely, are you a fucking idiot? And I was like, you do realize when you have a fever, you are only going to worsen your fever by having the AC on. The whole point of a fever, your body having a fever, is that your core temperature is cold. All of your body being hot is to try and warm up your core temperature. So you need to bundle up and you need to have the heat on and you need to drink soup and tea. That's why the doctors tell you that, because your core temperature is cold. That's why they call it a cold. Why the fuck do you have the AC on 64 and you have a fever? I know the doctor did not tell, I know your doctor told you to bundle up. And she's like, I don't care, Darian. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm hot. I'm fucking burning up. I need the AC on 64. And I was like, all right, bro. She walked out, went back to the bathroom. I turned it back up because girl, fuck you. So she comes back out and she turns it back down, but she turns it back down to 69. I don't even know. She just was trying to be petty because it's like, I turned it up to 70. You turn it down to 69. Like, okay. What the fuck ever. After that whole interaction, it was strange. Me and Amy made up, but it was like, after that interaction specifically, it was never the same between us. Even after we made up, it just felt like there was some underlying type of like animosity and hostility on both ends. I was like really sad that had to happen because I did really enjoy her and appreciate her as a friend, and it just like, it really fucking sucked that like that's how our friendship came to, you know? She started also being weird to Peach as well, like not really talking to Peach whenever Peach would come around and things. Like she would say hey to us, but like that was about it. Fast forward about like a couple weeks, I end up getting kicked out of my dorm, and I will tell y'all that story time. That's actually gonna be the next one I film after I go grocery shopping today. I get kicked out of the dorm, and I have like I think they give me like 2 weeks to find somewhere else to stay or whatever. And so like my mom had to come and like do apartment tours with me and shit, and we ended up finding an apartment. So while I'm in the process of like moving and everything, Amy is like just kind of, you know, normal. Like she's not like sad about it or anything. I think she was actually kind of excited because I'm pretty sure she ended up like immediately replacing me with one of her friends, which was really, really strange. And it kind of made me be like, I remember I felt like she had ratted me out, and that's why like I got kicked out, because like how I got kicked out made absolutely no fucking sense. Absolutely no fucking sense. It felt like somebody who knew me personally had went and snitched. She was like very nonchalant about the whole situation. Like she didn't care. She wasn't like worried about it or whatever. And when I moved out, she was just like, bye girl, like, you know, I'll see you later. And I was like, okay, cool, see you later. And so I moved out, right? But like I was still under the impression that we were friends, because like I said, very hot and cold. So there would be times where she would come in and her friend wouldn't be with her, and so she would talk to me, and she would like tell me about everything that was going on in her life, and like, you know, I would tell her everything going on in mine, and like, you know, it would be like normal again between us. So when I moved out, I literally was just in an apartment like half a mile from campus, and there was like a bus that took us to and from the apartments to campus. And so like I had told Peach and Amy that I wanted to cook for them. Now that I finally have a kitchen, I do love to cook. I still cook till this day. But, you know, now that I have a kitchen, I would love to cook for everybody. Like, y'all should come over and let me cook something for y'all. And, like, we can have, like, a little game night while I cook and, like, blah, blah, blah. And Peach was, like, so down. She was like, absolutely, yes, like, blah, blah, blah. But Amy did not respond. And I don't think Amy and I had classes at this point because, like I said, I changed majors. I was now a nursing major, so we didn't really have any classes. If we did, I think we might have had like one class. Like when I said that to Amy and Peach, Peach was like so excited. She was so down and everything, but Amy did not reply. So I was like, okay, that's strange. Like maybe she's busy or something. And so we basically was just like, okay, like Amy's been on some weird shit or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. We can still like do the cooking night and game night with just the two of us. Like fuck it, right? So she came over, Peach came over, I cooked for her, and like we had a good time. And she was just like, you know, I like don't know what's going on with Amy. Like she's just been really weird lately. I was like, exactly. Like I don't know like what's gotten into her. She's been like really on and off with us. Like it feels weird. Like I have no clue what we did, because genuinely like there was nothing that we did. Like it was just like a switch flipped in her. And so like Peach, she was like, yeah, no, I don't know, like that, the bitch is weird. Like it just is what it is, bro. The bitch is weird. So fast forward, Amy stops talking to both of us completely. Like she does not say anything to us. We'll text her, she's not replying, nothing. And so I remember Peach was at the rec. She used to like go there sometimes because her boyfriend would go and play basketball there like from sun up till sundown if he didn't have classes or anything. And so this is one of those days. And so she went to the rec to like basically let him know like, hey, come on, it's time to go. Like you've been here too long, it's time to go. And so like when they were walking out, like I said, Amy worked at the rec. So she saw them and she said hi to Peach's boyfriend, but not to Peach.
I ain't trying to get nothing started between y'all, but trouble you up, smack that bitch.
And Peach was like, no. Peach's boyfriend knew. Like he literally, whenever Amy said hey to him but not Peach, he didn't say shit back to her, because he was like, nah, like you on some weird shit. Like you on some weird shit. Absolutely not. She told her boyfriend to like step away for a minute so she could talk to Amy, because she was like, nah, I need to get to the bottom of this, because like what the fuck are you on, right? So he walks away and she goes and she talks to Amy, and she was like, so like what's up? Like, you know, like why are you, what's the issue? What's going on? Why are you not talking to me and Darian anymore? Darian invited you over to like cook for us and like, you know, play games with us and everything. Like, what's the issue? Why are you being weird? Why don't you want to be friends with us anymore? Like, I just want to know. And Amy had looked at her and said, because y'all always want something from me.
You just made that up.
This bitch didn't have nothing we could want from her. Like, no shade, no tea, no nothing. She did not have anything that we could possibly want from her. Peach was the one with the car. Sure, she had money, but like, my mom sent me money all the time. My mom, my grandma, my aunt, my dad, they would send me money. Literally, there was absolutely nothing she had that we wanted. And this is how I know that she was bullshitting when she said that, because Peach was like, Darian, like, me and Darian literally just wanted to hang out with you. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, exactly. That's you wanting something from me. You want to hang out with me. You want my time.
Oh, you sound like you slow.
Y'all. This bitch was out of her fucking mind. What are you talking about? That's us wanting something from you. Huh? Like, just say you don't want to hang out with us. Like, just say that you don't want to be friends with us anymore because you're a weird ass bitch. Like, don't make it seem like we're some like needy, greedy, gremlin ass bitches that are just like begging you for shit all the time. I never asked you for a fucking thing. The only thing I ever asked her for was to help me part my hair when I would do my hair. Literally. Never asked her for no money. Never asked her for no food. Never asked her for shit. Shit. Not a fucking thing. What the fuck are you talking about? I always want something from you. No, the fuck I don't. No, I don't. If anything, Peach is the one that can say that you want something from her because you were the one that would be hitting her up whenever you needed to go to the grocery store and you had no ride. What the fuck are you talking about? We always want something from you. That was just so fucking weird. And that was like the end of Amy. Like, we never heard from Amy again. I had literally, since she had stopped texting us back, I had given up texting her before that point of Peach even like confronting her. And like, the thing is, I didn't see Amy on campus after that. After that semester, I literally, when I say I never saw her again, but I know that she like continued going there because I saw like, before she blocked me on Instagram, randomly blocked me like four years later or some shit, because I had been seeing her on Instagram up until that point, and then she just randomly blocked me for some reason. Okay, but I saw that like she graduated and everything from the school. It was really strange. It was I know this is like a strange story time, but it was just as strange being friends with that girl. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story time. I'm sorry it was like all over the place, but that's how it felt living in it. It was just genuinely all over the place being friends with her. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like the video. Please like the video. Please like the video and please subscribe. And I will see y'all next time. Peace.
I thought I needed you.